Howdy, howdy, everybody. Hi, Missy. Hi, Uncle. How you guys doing? So sorry I did not have my podcast last night. My Wi-Fi got knocked out at about 3 p.m. and I was on the computer and it just shut down and I never got it back until about 7:30 last night. So that's why I'm a day late. There's Tina. Hello, darling. Did you eat a brownie yet, Missy? I want a brownie. Just tell me about it. I can't have any. Like I said, this is my cheat day. Uh, anyway, I have found a new place to ghost hunt. Apparently, it is a super haunted old jail, and there have been 3 people confirmed die in the building, probably more, but that are the 3 that is confirmed and on the records. And one of them was an officer and was just killed by the inmate right there laying there dead on the floor. And that was this other guy's brother or uncle. Anyway, yes. So I've got permission to go there, and but we need to go like during the day. Yeah, it's there's no power there. There's no it's the old jail. So I'm whenever I can go anytime. So they told me just to let them know when I'm coming, so they'll know that I'm there. And so, God forbid somebody sees us over there and they're, oh my God, 911. No, it's okay. She's supposed to be there. So, so I do have permission from the police department and the detectives there that, well, let's go. I mean, I have to go during the day. So it's hard for me to find somebody that can go during the day. So, anyway, so I'm ready to go there during the day. I'm definitely taking some bug spray because the door is wide open and y'all know how I am about bugs anyway. So I'm taking a brand new can or 2 of bug spray. So I'll keep you guys posted on when I'm going to go there. Tonight is California Hauntings. The next state will be Colorado. My next podcast coming on a day late kind of throws me off, but I will be doing the May horoscopes coming up. Can you believe it's already May? So I'll do the May horoscopes, and I do have a couple other podcasts coming up. And Uncle is aware of one of them. I've got some research to do, but that one's going to be quite amusing and interesting, I think, in case other people don't know about it. So I won't say what that is until you guys see it coming out. I can't say where it's at right now. It's about an hour away, so we'll just put it that way. Hour away, be there a few hours, an hour drive home. That's basically need half of a day. I just can't say where it is right now. I never say where anything is until I'm there or after. Hello, Stephen. And my first blood-related nephew graduation is happening in May. Oh, cool. So if you want to go, Teen, I know you work every day. So if you want to go, I don't know what your weekends, I know you rotate every other weekend. I don't know which weekend you can go, but I'm ready to go ASAP. Okay, tonight is California. The next state will be Colorado. I've only got 6 places in California, but this last place is a lot. Oh, cool. 2 years in a row. Sweet. Okay, cool. So, okay. The first place in California is called Fort Humboldt State Historic Park. And this is in Eureka. I believe this is up in North California. This is in a remote location on a bluff overlooking Humboldt Bay. It served as a former military, it serves as a former military post. It's been rumored of its hauntings for decades. It's said you can see lights turning on and off on their own, and a woman dressed in 1800s attire will appear and disappear while you're watching her. The most famous haunting here is of a deceased commander who died here in 1897 of malaria. He has never left, and he stares out of the hospital windows at people as they walk by. It was established on January 30th, 1853 by the Army as a buffer between Native Americans, gold seekers, and settlers. Once gold was found in the Trinity River in 1849, it set conflict. I know y'all can hear that. At its peak, it had 14 buildings, all of crude plank construction. It was laid out in military design, along with 2 buildings that served as barracks for the soldiers, separate quarters for the officers, an office, a hospital, a bakery, a commissary or store, a guardhouse, a blacksmith shop, and a stable. Among the many well-known soldiers, here was a young Captain Ulysses S. Grant, who was served here for 5 months in 1854. Charles Lovell was promoted to major and commanded a brigade during the Second Battle of Bull Run and Antietam and Frederick. Robert Buchanan was the general during this time. There is also a cemetery located here, and there are 10 soldiers buried there. 2 of them died from malaria, and others were during the war. It's said you can be walking there, and hear footsteps running up behind you, but when you turn around, there's nobody there. The lad's spirit appear to move around. Oh, the lady's spirit appears to move around and changes her location, and the one that turns the lights on and off. Many people have reported these sightings, and people see the man in the window almost daily. Now, I've been to California. I've never been that far north in California because I think Eureka is pretty far up. But I'd go there if I was in California. I would go, like all these places that I talk about, I would absolutely go to these places. Unless there's evil there. I try to avoid the evil. Like this new place that I'm going to, I've had people telling me that they've gone in there and they just hear things. They can hear the clanking of the cell doors and stuff like that. So once I get there, I'm going to see how the doors are set up because like I've gone to old jails before and they like do the doors to where they won't lock because, God forbid you try to shut the door behind you and then you get locked in there. Um, could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine that if we got stuck in there and then we couldn't get out? Nobody's got fucking keys to that shit now. Mm-mm. Nope. But apparently there were hangings there on the property and all that too from the old jail. Anyway, number 2, we're going to move on down to Preston Castle, and this is in Lone, California, or Loney, however you say it. Widely known for its spirits, many paranormal investigations have taken place here. The castle has a history of deaths, including the unsolved murder of head housekeeper Anna Corbin in 1950. It's claimed you will hear disembodied voices, doors slamming, and you will also get physical contact there. This once served as a juvenile detention facility, also known as the Preston School of Industry. Now, it was built in the 1890s, and it was designed as a reform school for boys. It opened in June of 1894, when 7 wards were transferred there from the San Quentin State Prison. These wards were minors under the guardianship of the state, so not necessarily offenders, like, the ones that just kind of lost their family or basically, I'm having a brain fart on what they're called, but in the system, they don't have any family. They don't have anyone to look over them, or their families passed away and they're the only, anyway, they're the wards of the state. But they were there also with the juvenile offenders. It went on, and they got a total of 13 wards along with the offenders, with the 10th one being Merle Haggard. Ghost hunters, this is not the Merle Haggard, the singer, though. It's a totally different Merle Haggard. Ghost hunters investigated here in season 6, episode 6. Ghost Adventures investigated in the first episode of season 2. It could be a short biography done called Haunted Boy Reformatory on the LOWE Low Files, season 1, episode 1. In 2019, the movie Apparition is about this castle. And in 2014, film called A Haunting at Preston Castle. So Anna Corbin, the head housekeeper, was beaten to death in the basement in 1950, and her killer was never found. So hers is still unsolved. And see, remember how we talk about my first ghost that I ever saw? It's because it was unsolved. And, so she goes up to police officers trying to think they can help her, which I about shit my pants that night. I didn't know. And these ones, normally when I talk about what ghosts are there, it's because those are the ones that's been confirmed. The next one is Samuel Goins. A convicted burglar was shot and killed by a guard in 1918 while he was attempting to escape. He is buried in the castle's cemetery. I guess there's a cemetery on the property. I don't remember how many acres this was, but anyway. Several boys that were sent to this castle as offenders were abandoned by their families. They died by suicide, sickness, and some say that those spirits have never left. There were 2 employees that died in the castle. and they're also still there. So many died in the infirmary from 1918 flu epidemic. You will see shadows, orbs, and mists while touring with your naked eye. Spirits always show up in your pictures and your videos. You will smell women's perfume. You will hear footsteps, kids laughing or crying or screaming. I'd go there. Absolutely. Now, the next one's very short. It's not very much. Excuse me. Now, this is called the Moaning Caverns, and this is in Vallecito, California. Now, in the late 1840s, this cave was found by gold miners, and they would lower themselves down with a winch and a bucket. They were looking for gold, but found skeletons instead. People who go into this cave report seeing ghostly figures. They follow you like they're curious. People still hear moaning and crying. Others have seen a ghostly saber-toothed tiger with a chipped tooth, and then it just disappears. People said they thought it was so real, but they believe it fell down in the cave and it died down there. Apparently, the tiger's skeleton was found down there. It is open for tours. You can pay to get taken down. You go down into the cave, or you can go over the cave to where okay, so the way that it was explained, it's a cave, but kind of one, you can get to it from under and you can get to it from over. And that's why they think the saber-toothed tiger was hunting or walking and he fell in and couldn't get out. Anyway, I don't know if they've made a way in, but you can go underground. You have to wear the hard hat and all that. But you can pay to get a ghost tour and go, and then you have to go crawling and through tight little. I'm like, I won't go there. First of all, I'm claustrophobic, and you aren't getting me to go. I see these people, and they hunt, or I don't know what the fuck they call what they do, but they go through caves this big and they try to wiggle their bodies, and then they get fucking stuck. And die there. There ain't no way you're getting me to go through anything underground like that and crawl or I will stay above ground with my feet on the ground, and I ain't crawling under nothing on purpose. I'll tell you that. I'm not going under there. I see these pretty places you can go, and they're beautiful, and they're, what are they called? The stalagmites or something that grow, and you can be walking under. What if one falls? You know what I'm saying? What if you're walking through there and one falls? Because those things fucking fall. I ain't going underground. I ain't going in the air, and I ain't going underground. Not on purpose. Anyway, that's all I've got on the Moaning Caverns. They would lower themselves down to try to look for gold, and they found the skeletons. Like, this is already the 1840s. Like, what the that might have been. Didn't back in the old days, is it just me, or didn't back in the old days people lived in caves, right? Didn't people live in caves, or you know what I mean? What is that show that I watched? There was a show that I watched back in the day, and they lived up in a cave, and they would the dinosaurs would come out. Yeah. So I mean, this was already this was just the 1840s, and these people were searching for gold in this hole that they found. So they found all of these skeletons down there. So it could have been like cavemen. No, not the Flintstones. It was a TV show, but it was made with real people. It wasn't our cartoon. What the heck was the name of that TV show? It was like a stupid little series. Um, Dadgummit. Why do I do this to myself? No, it wasn't prehistoric. It wasn't bone. Oh gosh. And I think what's his name even made a movie called Will Ferrell, I think, made a movie called the same thing the TV show was. But it wasn't. What the That's gonna drive me insane. Why do I do this? I don't know why I do this to myself. It's just pulling my hair. Dadgummit. Oh, I thought I just had it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Y'all got to help me. No. It was a comedy, kind of like a Brady Bunch, but it was in a cave. It was a series. I think it was supposed to be stupid funny, but they lived up in the side of a cave in the side of a rock. And the there's something driving me nuts on my back. What the fuck is it? I can see it plain as day. Like they're still even wearing no, this is way back like in the 80s, like when we're growing up. It was a TV show. Maybe even the late 70s it was on the show. And they even in the show they wore like the fur, like the faux fur. Oh my gosh. One second, please. I'm going to Google it really quick now because it's going to just drive me insane. 70s show in cave. No, that brought me to the 70s show. What's it called? A TV show series living in a cave with dinosaurs. Land of the Lost. Thank you. Land of the Lost is the name of the show. Land of the Lost. That's what it is. Thank God. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That was going to drive me insane. Land of the Lost. It could be people like that. If y'all don't remember that show, I'm really old. Go to YouTube and type in Land of the Lost episodes and watch one or two. All right. So, anyway, that's my take on the people that maybe they were finding in the 1840s. They're finding skeletons already in there. So, that's what I'm thinking is like that. Winchester Mystery House. Now, everybody has heard of this house. This place has been all over the place. So I know you guys have heard of this place before. This was originally constructed by Sarah Winchester, the widow of the firearms magnate William Wirt Winchester. The construction began in 1884 and continued for 38 years, resulting, in a sprawling estate with over 160 rooms and a labyrinth design. It became a tourist attraction after her death in 1922. It's still a tourist attraction. Ghost hunters go there all the time. Apparently, it's super haunted. I know y'all have heard of this thing. There's stairways that go to nowhere. Okay, anyway, Sarah was born in 1839, Sally being her nickname to her friends and family. She married William Winchester in 1862. In 1866, she gave birth to a daughter, Annie, who died after 1 month. In 1881, her mother, father-in-law, and husband all died in the same year. She was left a huge inheritance, though, from her husband, which was, I think I read it was about $25 million, which was a lot back then. In 1884, her oldest sister, Mary Converse, died. In 1886, she purchased this 2-story, 8-room farmhouse. That's what this house started as. So she purchased this with the money she received from her husband's death. She was very picky with the expansions of this new home. So she designed and overseen all the building herself. She ended up becoming an architect. She was known to rebuild or abandon construction if it did not meet her expectations. It was reported that a 7-story tower was built, tore down, and rebuilt 16 times. It was a crazy maze that made no sense. Super steep stairways that led to nowhere, doors that were in weird locations, floors leaning different directions. One stairway had 44 steps and only went up 10 feet. At its largest, the house had 500 rooms. In 1906, the San Francisco earthquake caused major damage. The tower collapsed, the chimney collapsed, an entire wing was destroyed along with the 3rd and 4th floors. When she passed away in 1922, it had 160 rooms, 2,000 doors, 10,000 windows, 47 stairways, 47 fireplaces, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. During construction, several workers died while working and died in the house or on the property. Someone said that the reason for her construction was that all the souls and spirits from the people that were killed from the firearms were haunting her, and her construction would keep her at peace. It's also said that she has never left the house since she died. It's reported that people have heard music playing in the house when nobody was home. She often played the organ in the grand ballroom when she couldn't sleep. Excuse me. Her friend, Joe Nickel, claims that she would hold parties for the spirits that haunted her. She would place lavish dishes on gold plates and invite them to eat with her. She kept these plates in a large safe to keep them from getting damaged. After her death, he said there were no gold plates in the safe, only personal mementos and a lock of her daughter's hair. He said that she would even talk to the spirits as if she was trying to befriend them. She even included them in some construction decisions. You will hold spots, hear footsteps, smell cooking, hear whispering and water dripping. Windows will open and close themselves. It's said there are over 1,000 spirits in this house, including hers. I would love to go there. I would love to go there. But I ain't going all the way to California because I ain't driving that far. Now, you guys have heard about this house, right? That I was talking about. I know you guys have heard about it. I didn't write it down. I know Ghost Adventures has been there. I don't know if there was a movie made about it, about her. I'd watch that movie in a heartbeat if there is, though. Like a biography or something? Yeah. I believe Ghost Adventures went there. I couldn't tell you what season, what episode, none of that. But you could probably go to YouTube and type in Ghost Adventures at Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. And I bet it'll be on there because I've always heard about that. There's one stairway that goes all the way up and there's a wall there. It goes to a wall. So I've always heard about that. All right. The next one I have is Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles. Now, it opened in 1927, and it's located along Hollywood Boulevard, directly across from the TCL Chinese Theater, and in honor of former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt. Now, you guys know where that TCL Theater, that's where they always do the red carpets now when they, it's that Chinese theater. Anyway, they always have the awards ceremonies and everything there. That's always done there now. Now, it quickly became the place to stay among the movie stars. Clark Gable stayed a lot when he would act in the area. Carol Lombard frequented the penthouse with Clark Gable on the 12th floor, which they kept quiet because he was still married at the time. So they would go there to have theirs. Y'all can look it up. I ain't lying. Shirley Temple stayed when she played in the movie Bojangles. She would practice her tap dancing along the Spanish-styled steps outside the front. Marilyn Monroe actually lived at a hotel for some time in the 1940s when she was contracted in several movies. Her room overlooked the Tropicana pool on the second floor, room 1200, and today is named the Maryland Suite. It is also the location of the very first Academy Awards ceremony in 1929. There are 3 known and confirmed ghosts that are permanent residents here. It's said that Marilyn Monroe still shows up and checks everyone out. She has been seen around the entire hotel, but especially in her old room, number 1200. Staff and guests have reported seeing her. People have reported seeing her on the diving board of the pool. Years ago, I can't remember what year it was, but I read it somewhere. You will find a picture of her in a bathing suit standing on a diving board. That is the hotel that she took that picture. When Marilyn lived there, she was given a full-length mirror. When she died, the mirror was moved to a manager's office. One day, a housekeeper who was dusting the mirror saw the reflection of Marilyn walk in the room behind her, but said when she turned around to ask her if she needed anything, she wasn't there. The mirror is still there and has since been moved to a mezzanine hallway. Guests are not told of the mirror, but they do get people coming to the front desk telling them that they thought they saw Marilyn Monroe in that area. The spirit of Montgomery Clift still stays in room 928. When he stayed there, he was always in the same room. Guests who stay in that room report that they hear the trumpet music that he played. They will open the door as nobody is there and the music stops. When the door is shut again, the music starts again. He used to practice his music in that room. A woman in 2014 stayed in the room right next to 928, not knowing of this information. One morning, she heard a male voice loudly yelling, "Put it down, I'll call the police." She said it scared her so bad that she ran down to the front desk and told them of the yelling and possible fight going on in room 928. When they went back up, the room was empty and clean as if no one had been there. There's also a spirit called Caroline. She is said to have drowned in the pool. Guests claim a little girl will approach them in the lobby and say she's looking for her mom. They say that she seems to be in a hurry, but then she runs away only to disappear into thin air. Paranormal investigators state that they've captured her on the voice boxes, and she always says she wants to tell a story. She claims she's looking for her mom, but never tells anything further. Everyone always has the same description of her: little girl wearing jeans and a pink jacket. I'm telling you, there's probably more spirits in each one of these places. I'm just talking about the confirmed ones. That's what I try to do, because when you look up the information, it'll say, if they don't know who it is, then I'm going to write they don't know who it is. But this one, they actually see the people and they get confirmations of it. Okay. Now, this last one is crazy, and I would love to go there. If it wasn't in fucking California, I would have been there. Anyway, number 6, the Queen Mary. I know you guys have heard about it. It's in Long Beach, California. It is a ship. It was supposed to originally be named Queen Victoria, but was called the Queen Mary instead. This is named after the wife of King George. I think King George had like 8 wives too, so I don't know which wife this was. I'm assuming it was his last one. I'm not sure, because didn't we do something on the kings and King George? Was it King George that was married, had 8 wives? I don't remember. Anyway, her first voyage on May 27th, 1936, she departed the Southampton, England. She had 5 dining areas and lounges, 2 cocktail bars, 2 swimming pools, a grand ballroom, a squash court, and even a small hospital. She set a new benchmark for transatlantic travel, which the rich and famous considered as the only civilized way to travel. She carried 2.2 million passengers and 810,000 military personnel in her time. She was retired in 1967. It had 47 recorded and confirmed deaths aboard her during her work time of passengers. Today, she's permanently docked at Long Beach. She is a tourist attraction and a hotel, so you can stay there. Some of her past staff, passengers, and soldiers still linger and will not leave her. One of the many spirits is of a construction worker of hers named Malcolm Aitken. He fell from the scaffolding and died on the scene. On June 8, 1936, crew member Arthur Golding died after fracturing his skull during her return to the UK from her first voyage. In 1967, crew member Leonard Horsburgh developed heat stroke and died of a cerebral hemorrhage on board. And that's just a few that has been identified. In 1939, World War II began, and it was ceased as a passenger ship and became a troop ship. In 1942, she crashed into the HMS Curacoa, killing hundreds of Curacoa's passengers and a few of her own. She was then called the Gray Ghost after being painted entirely gray to be camouflaged on the water. After the war was over, she was turned back into a luxury liner and went on to 20 years of transatlantic crossings. People report hearing disembodied voices, strange noises, and seeing apparitions which have been documented. People have seen the spirit of a man crushed by a watertight door, a ghost of a woman who dances in the first-class lounge. One of the staterooms is so haunted it was closed to the public for 30 years. In 1989, the cleaning staff entered the garden lounge and saw a guest sitting on a chair in the middle of the room. It was a female. They were telling her that she had to leave or they were going to call security. But then she suddenly vanished into thin air. They were shocked and scared. Another employee came in at 5:30 in the morning and entered the staff's offices, which was formerly the beauty salon. The employee felt something or someone brush up against him. When he turned around, he saw a pale figure walk through a wall while disappearing. There is also a spirit called Grumpy. He is known to growl in people's ears and show himself to groups. Another entity wearing overalls is often seen near the propellers in the shaft room. All right. Room B340 is known as the most haunted room. This is the room that had been closed for 30 years. Not sure when it was found out, but it's confirmed that passenger Walter J. Adamson died in that room in 1948. People see his figure in there a lot. He will pull the covers off people while they're on the bed, and then he will vanish. People will wake up when they hear the faucets in the bathroom start running. The lights go on and off, the bathroom and closet doors open and close, and there will be knocking. Even staff said that after they have made the bed, they'll fly off, like he takes and pulls them all off. Another story is in the 1960s, a man murdered 2 women and locked them in what is now room B340. They were found once the Queen Mary docked in New York. After being closed for 30 years, it was only opened in 2018 after being renovated. Door 13. On July 10th, 1966, crew member 18-year-old John Pedder, Pedder, was crushed by door 13. It was a watertight door on D deck. This was a safety drill. He had been tending to the bilge pump when this safety drill occurred at 3:55 a.m., but he did not make it through the door in time. Another crew member found him. The only visible sign of injury was blood running down his nose, but died shortly after being found. It was later discovered at the hospital that his insides were crushed. Security guard with a canine saw his spirit with a bloody face one night. The guard said he started beating the wall, almost like, help me. The guard said he and the canine ran out of there and never went back. Oh, my pen's running out of ink. This is the pen Spirit Wolf sent me, and it's running out of ink. Like, my purple's out of ink, the black's out of ink, the blue's out of ink, and the dark brown's out of ink. I've been using it a lot. All right, so guests and present staff claim to see him a lot. They can hear the slamming of the door. He has shown himself in pictures and videos, and when compared, it matches the pics they have hanging up there of John Pedder. The lady in white. Yeah, I have to change the color here because I'm out of ink on that color. Okay. There's a lady in white. She's in the first class lounge. She's been in there for years. Her identity remains a mystery, but she is seen dancing or she sits near the piano. Apparently, she is one of the ship's most popular guests and most often seen. No other information. She's not found in any records or anything of the ship, so they don't know who she is. The HMS Curacoa collision on October 7th, 1942. Queen Mary was carrying 15,000 U.S. troops across the Atlantic for wartime service. To prevent being torpedoed, she would sail in a zigzag pattern. She was being escorted by the HMS Curacoa as an added safety precaution. However, disaster struck when Queen Mary swung towards the Curacoa. Now, Queen Mary weighed 81,000 tons, and the Curacoa weighed 4,290 tons. This caused Queen Mary to cut the Curacoa in half. The Curacoa sank and trapped all the crew members inside. At the front of the ship where the collision happened, you can hear the sounds of metal crushing and screaming. Others claim to have heard rushing water and banging against the ship sides. There is a first-class pool. People hear the splashing of water and will see wet footsteps leading away from the pool. Seems interesting, right? It's weird, though, since the pool was drained of water years ago. It has no water in it. Where's the water coming from? A woman in 1930s swimwear and a young girl holding a teddy bear have also been seen by the pool. This little girl's name is Jackie, and she drowned in this pool. This was also backed up by a psychic who investigated the pool and confirmed her presence. People say they can hear Jackie laughing and playing. Excuse me. It's been featured on numerous TV shows. 1, My Ghost Story. 2, The Most Haunted. And 3, Ghost Adventures. Zach Bagans and his Bagans, I don't know how to say it, and his team recorded voices on the EVP. They said they saw orbs of light floating around with their naked eye. And they claim they saw the spirit of John Petter near door 13. And that's all I've got on that. So that's all I've got. I guess I could have kept going, huh? Now, I do have a couple other podcast titles that I'm going to do some research on, so I might get out of my alphabetical order a couple times so we can cover some stuff. One of them is, I think they're both going to be kind of interesting, but that will be coming in the future. I'm sure you guys will appreciate the one. Right, Uncle? Anyway. Now, I sent a lot of you. Tina, I don't know if you're still here or if I sent it to you or not, but there is a girl on TikTok, on the TikTok shop. And the reason I'm talking about this is because we fucking talked about this, sort of. This girl takes a jar and then a strawberry, and she has a little hand fan, and she blows the air surrounding the strawberry in a jar and seals it and sells it for $20 a jar. I want to know who the fuck would buy that. Okay. You know, in the TikTok shop, you purchase something. I don't know what it is. I don't care if you purchase a goddamn picture or a toothbrush or a freaking dilly dough. I don't understand how you would sell the surrounding strawberry air. She sold 2.6 thousand already the day that I saw it. 2.6 thousand already. Can someone explain this to me? Pretty please. And the only reason I bring this up, well, y'all kind of know. Where do you sell this stuff? She is making a killing. She sells this strawberry air for $20 a jar. How is this possible? Can I get you guys' opinions on this? Pretty please. Cause like what do you do? Like, I don't know what to do about it. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like, you can't, but would any of you in here pay $20 for surrounding strawberry air? And she flat out says, "Oh, I buy these at the grocery store." Like, they ain't no even special strawberries. I just don't. I'm in the wrong fucking business. Do the math, y'all. She sold 2.6 thousand of those for $20 a piece. Like, I have a lot of jars laying around my house. I know y'all know what I'm thinking. You're right. They do. But even if you're rich, even if you're, why would you spend $20 on air from around a strawberry? Strawberry air. I'm baffled. Did I send those to you? Didn't I send that to you, Missy, too, and Uncle on TikTok? Like, I'm not making this up. I don't know how. Like, I'd have to go and look at. I sent it to people. I'm just so wanting to go back in there and be like, see how many she has sold now, because that was like 2 or 3 days ago. Oh, I hear myself. My mom's coming out in the hallway. Comment back about strawberry scented farts. But the thing is, like, how do you? Who's to say? I don't know. Hi, Mandy. We're done with the haunting part. Now we're just talking about some stuff that we saw on TikTok. So, anyway, we'll discuss that later. The next one will be Colorado. Colorado Hauntings is the next state. But my next podcast will be the May horoscopes. So that will be coming up. And then I'll get right back to Colorado. But then I'm going to be doing the research of those other two that I was talking about. Was it? Like, what are you getting? What are you getting? How you doing, Mandy? Mandy, I know where you're located. How far is California from you? Like, it's way close to you than it is me. Like, where is San Francisco? Was it San Francisco? Where's that one? Los Angeles, I think it is. Right. Long Beach, California. Is that like midway? Or is that more north? Where is Long Beach, California? Like from you, is that several hours away, or is that like a quick trip, like a little girly weekend or something for you? Because you're way over there. Because it's only like 6 o'clock where you are, 6 p.m. Now, because if you're close, you might want to go check this place out, Mandy. This place is super haunted. And it's a hotel. It's a hotel you can stay at in a museum, but it's the Queen Mary that's permanently docked there at it used to be a luxury liner, and then it was a military, also like a warship, and then it turned back into a luxury liner. And then, yeah. So if I was over there, I'd damn sure go. There is one, is it the Alabama? I'll be in the Alabama, that ship there that's in Alabama there. When me and Patty and Annie were driving to Louisiana, we drove right by the ship that we were talking about in Alabama. Like I love Sid the Sloth, the way he does the lisp. I love Sid the Sloth. I love that movie. I love the Ice Age movies. But yeah, there's that big ship that's retired ship that's I watch everything you sent me, so I must have. Did you send it today? I didn't today. I didn't see one. I'd have to go and look if you sent it today. Anyway, my next podcast, it'll either be Wednesday or Thursday. I got to see what I got going on here. It will be the May horoscopes. Even Wednesday's the day before May 1st, but I'll cover the May horoscopes. I will go back and rewatch. Yeah, I definitely remember yes, I remember the one you sent me for the podcast idea. So ridiculous. You know, I'm just baffled. I'm absolutely baffled. This one bitch is making like 6 figures selling her farts in a jar. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I bust my butt being a cop and I only make 55. I fart a lot. That's fucking crazy. Send it to Missy. Missy's got a great sense of humor. Anywho, so I've got some things planned coming up that you guys will probably appreciate. So I have that. It'll be coming up. Anyway, May horoscopes will be coming up, and then Colorado is next. And anyway, I'm going to be live over on Clapper for a little while longer. So if you guys would like to come and join us over there, you're more than welcome. Thanks for joining and love your support. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you next time.